Well, evening, fellow zombies. It's about 9:12 at night. Are we sleep deprived and emotionally screwed up like the rest of us are? It's still the 19th of June, 2023. This is the Diary of the Griever named John Weaver, which would be me. The Angel of Death, or shall I say, the Legion of Soul Recovery, has been on the constant march and constant pickup and recovery. Too many shootings and deaths so far, and they're still ongoing. Too much politics, fear mongering, everything else, and yet, when it gets this close, to me, it becomes a little bit more personal than that. Sorry, it's like scratching at this point over here. Let me get. Yeah, I'm corded because I'm trying to suck up power into this. I know friends of mine out there are going through it. I'm seeing the posts these days, and it's hurting them a great deal. That they can't understand why these things are happening, and they don't have a way of responding to it. They don't. It's hurting them a great deal. Even when you have multiples happening within a short, intense period of time. You know, sometimes I think I come across as a damn guru where it comes down for death, but there is no copyright on this. There is no rules on how to deal with one or multiple or anything else like that. And I've had friends and I've had family that have lost themselves during that process. Sorry. Supposed to be respectful, and yet I got dry skin to deal with. And that's kind of a problem there, isn't it? Dry skin. How's that deal with death? Let's just say we're shedding out the mortal coil one way or another, or one flake at a time, and sometimes it irritates the living crap out of us. All we can do is scratch and then make it bleed like crazy. If I want to use it as a metaphorical, my soul is still bleeding at this point. Sometimes I'll get scabs on it, where I don't feel the pain as much, and I don't feel the need to cry like crazy and mourn people that I care about. If I keep scratching at the irritation long enough, because it's still irritating, I'll make it bleed again. Besides having the skin flake off, the scab is getting open and ready to ooze. And if constantly worked on, it becomes a gush. And it's a hard thing trying to stop up that much of a hemorrhage. Our emotions are like that at times. I've been discovering it more and more on a lot of occasions at this point over here. Let me get this. Let me get this thing first off. I'm no expert. I'm no expert on death, but I've gone through too many of it. You know, one time dying, 3 times on a table because of a heart operation at the age of 4 years old, and it gives me a weird ass understanding of something totally beyond my senses to figure out, and a lot of mixed emotions going in, positive but mostly confused, and a lot of negative at that time. And then losing family that I get close to, taken away, and it's become a harder and harder decision, or actually life's lesson to learn all the time that everything is temporary. We're a renter on this planet. We have to treat things like a rental property, but we still have to keep the place clean enough so the next renter can actually enjoy something of it besides the leftovers and our leavings at this point over here. But we're also dealing with our own injuries and scabs that we have in our hearts, in our souls, and in our minds, let alone bodies sometimes. And seeing that oozing all out, it's like we're seeing our love, our life, our memories, everything good just gushing out of us. It's like the skin becomes transparent, it becomes thinner than the rice paper out there. You touch it or breathe on it and it breaks, and a breath, a memory, a thought, a feeling, a sensation that the squishy brain has picked up on its five senses, its radar. And then we're off. Except at this time, I get to be put on roller coasters and get to go through the emotions left and right. And I get to be crying my eyeballs out and keep praying. Keep praying for forgiveness for something I don't even know what the hell I'm guilty of or whatever. And conflicting as it is, this is how the feelings are coming out and how the words are trying to describe the actions, the emotions of it. At first, you want to talk about it like a roller coaster? Okay, you paid your ticket on it. Actually, you got drafted by someone giving you the ticket, throwing you into the damn cart, locking you into place, and then the cart just rolls. And as it's rolling and it gets up to that incline, the shock and awe is building and building and building until you get to the apex. First run. And here we go, boys and girls. Your first emotional outburst. But like the rest of us, if we've been through it long enough, we don't get scared enough because we got used to the ups and downs, twists and turns, and everything else that a roller coaster will do. And if we've been through it long enough, we get to understand the track better, and then we're not so much injured by it, right? But there's always a limit to how much a human endurance can deal with, how much a spirit can deal with at this point over here. We're not immortal. We're not gods. We can't even deal with this kind of stuff. We have to break down. Why? Because it's part of the genetics. It's part of our nature. We're not super people. I'd seen super people crash and burn. I'd seen it in my own family. It's bad enough with my brother's military experience a long time ago gave him PTSD for him to have issues. But in those feelings, in the years that I've known my brother for a long while, since the day I was born, he had gone through tremendous things, lost people that he loved, friends, family, people he admired, eventually getting close to him. That somehow he was still trying to keep a facade, the veneer up, trying to tell people that he's fine. I'm still constantly reminded about one particular movie of Steel Magnolias that I watched with my mother and I loved like crazy. And I can't stand seeing the damn thing because I know more of it than I care to. Despite the fact that I actually had the emotional and spiritual moleskin on that prevented me from freaking out as much. Every time there was a death in the family, I didn't freak out as much unless it got too damn close. Ma? And then 5 years later, my brother. A 5-year anniversary is coming up in September for my brother. The 10-year was already this past February. And it gets harder and harder for me to deal with this. No matter how much older I'm getting at this point over here, getting close to my own finish line at this point over here, it still gets harder and harder for me to deal with that loss. Or maybe at this point I should have been feeling happy and joyful because I'm going to be reunited with my family and I should think about that. No, because I'm still in this lifetime over here. I'm still dealing with this reality right now, and I'm still dealing with the loss. I'm still dealing with the pain. I'm still dealing with the agony. I'm still dealing with that, and it's still tearing me apart. And believe me, I could tell my friends on social media about this because I know too damn well. I've hid from it. I've worked through it. I tried to pretend it wasn't even there, despite the fact that it was building and building and building inside of me. And I'd seen how it took out Ma, and I'd seen how it took out Dave. That gets harder and harder for me to deal with every single day. It does. I try to talk about it every single day. I mean, I post things out there every single day. Do you think anybody else would understand? Or you would try to pick up on it and say, I hear you. And sometimes I feel like I get ignored. And I know how that feels. If other people in the grieving process go through that thing, they're having issues as well. They feel like they're getting isolated left and right, despite the fact you'll have it off. You'll have just the initial wave of people trying to do the, oh, I'm sorry, let me throw you the hugs and the faces on there. The emoticons. That's not exactly what I needed. You know, somebody just coming over here and say, how you doing? How you really doing? And just look at me directly. Look at me and say, it still got you, doesn't it? You want to talk? I'll just sit. I'd like to have somebody do that with me. But the only way I'm going to be able to get this stuff out of me is doing my audio logs, but also the videos, constant videos on my YouTube channel, The Diary of the Griever named John Weaver. Because that's the only way I know how to get through this damn thing right now. Nobody else is helping me through this thing, so I got to find my own way on this. Doesn't help much, but it gets me to think and feel. I cry like crazy. I record. Not that I'm crying, but that I had to let people know. Let myself know. They say I'm special. Yeah, well, we're all special. One way or another, we're special to ourselves, to each other, to the Creator who made us. And the thing is, we're still dealing with the agony and pain because, unfortunately, that's part of the genetics we're dealing with right now. That's part of our code. It's the process that we still have to live with and work with. We don't like it, but we have to deal with it. Because somehow or another, we got to get through the damn thing. It sucks, but that's how it is. For right now, the only thing I can do is keep sending a message over to those who keep going through this. You guys ain't alone. Sometimes we need to have the conversations with other people, and another time sometimes we have to take it alone. But hopefully feel like we're not alone, that we're still part of it. Grieving is never the easiest damn thing in the world to get through. Nobody understands it more than the griever. We individuals have to go through it, losing a hell of a lot of people, or maybe just one or two special people. Even pets are considered as people. Even pets. They're family. It's the hardest damn thing to do is lose family members and think you're going to be coming out okay. There's nothing okay. Because we still have to change, morph into something else, and we still have to function. But we can't be hard as hell on everybody. Because the only thing we're going to be doing is being hard on ourselves for being human. Sometimes society keeps forgetting that. rules and regulations and God knows what else they got going on, or social norms. They don't want the Hollywood veneer and facade. Well, I'm sorry, I can't do that all the damn time. Just doesn't work for me. I have to deal with the reality check. And the reality check is I'm dealing with this right now as it is. I grieve and mourn with my friends. I grieve and mourn with those who have lost that I don't know of. We all got to go through this damn thing. We don't have to keep pretending about it either. Be honest, find a private place, cry your eyeballs out, get through the emotions. Eventually the roller coaster will die down, you get off, and then maybe you find a wastebasket. And then you find a park bench. Bend your head down and breathe. Emotions will go through you. And then they'll subside, leaving you an ache, a throb. A feeling that you're soul tired, but you're not physically tired, but you are tired. Because you just wasted a lot of energy on this. And there's more to come.